Now at Target 12, investigators exclusive solar switch.
They are popping up everywhere. More people are getting those solar panels on their homes, but Rhode Island's top prosecutor is zeroing in on the solar industry and flagging some alleged practices in order to protect consumers.
Target 12 investigator Sarah Granelli spoke with one woman who's now in over her head after getting solar panels installed.
Karlene Chase lives in this home, and she says she deeply regrets putting solar panels on it. She says it's not producing enough energy to cover her electricity bill, and not only that, she's not getting the 30% federal tax credit she was fully promised.
If I could take them off my house and cancel the entire thing, I absolutely would.
Karlene Chase deeply regrets putting solar panels on her home.
It's been a lot more hassle and stress than it was worth.
She says a salesperson came to her home last year and promised her the panels would produce enough electricity to cover her electric bill. But months after they were turned on, she got sticker shock from the electric bill.
I received a giant bill for almost $900. Maybe it was like $977. I have the emails.
Not only that, but she says she was told she would receive a tax refund worth 30% of the cost of the solar panels.
They told me I was going to get a check for $16,000. They recommended that I take the full amount and put that towards the finance price of the panels.
But when tax time came, she was only eligible for $1,600 a year because of her income level. The rest of the refund would be spread out over 10 years. So now she's stuck paying her energy bill on top of the cost of the loan for the panels.
I'm looking at, I want to say it's like $260 something a month I'm going to be financing for the panels. Plus, I still have an electric bill.
Meanwhile, the Attorney General's office has been keeping an eye on the solar industry. In June, Attorney General Peter Nerona filed a civil lawsuit against Smart Green Solar and its owner, Jay Gatra. The top prosecutor accused the company of misleading customers to land sales, promising that 30% tax credit.
What consumers were left with was financing costs that were greater than they expected, federal tax credits which didn't amount to what it should have been. And then the energy savings didn't cover their existing costs.
12 News sat down with Gatra shortly after the AG's action. He called the lawsuit wrongful prosecution and was dumbfounded by the allegations.
This is why small businesses aren't winning. It's not because of big businesses. They're fighting personally against me. Why? Because I'm a small business owner.
Chase reached out after seeing our recent story, but says another company installed her panels. A big takeaway is to always review contracts carefully so you know what you're getting into. She has filed a complaint with the Attorney General's office. If you have an issue with a solar company, reach out to them. And coming up at 6, we're speaking with an expert about the top tips that you should look out for if you're going green. With the Target 12 investigators, Sarah Granelli, 12 News.
Now to a Target 12 investigators exclusive solar switch. More and more Rhode Islanders are putting solar panels on their homes.
At 5, we introduced you to a woman who says she had a bad experience, saying she expected huge savings but ended up paying more than before. New at 6, Target 12 investigator Sarah Granelli has what people should look out for so they don't end up in the same boat. Sarah?
The use of solar panels has exploded in recent years, but the #1 tip is to make sure you're working with a reliable company so that you don't get stuck with a high electricity bill on top of paying for the solar panels.
If I could take them off my house and cancel the entire thing, I absolutely would.
Unlike Karlene Chase, who says she didn't get what she was promised when she bought solar panels on her home, Steve Provost says he would recommend solar to anyone.
When you see a zero balance on your bill, it's good. And building the credits is even better.
Here's a look at his bill from June. Nothing due with a $420 credit. Money that can be used during the winter months when the solar panels aren't producing as much electricity. He says his bill used to hover around $250 a month. Now he just pays the solar company for the panels since he doesn't own them.
Obviously, we got a couple big things of equipment, the pool, hot tub, the AC.
Solar is growing in popularity in recent years. Data from Rhode Island Energy shows in 2018 there were more than 1,700 new solar installations, and that number has grown each year with more than 4,000 in 2022, and as of July of this year there's already been 4,000 installations.
More and more people are going solar.
But there's a big difference between Chase's solar experience and Provost's. Jim Aubin, a solar expert who's been in the industry for years, says it comes down to the knowledge and reliability of a solar company and its sales reps.
If the rep doesn't seem knowledgeable or professional, it's a good indication that the company they're with isn't either.
If you're looking to go green and plan to take out a loan to buy the panels, check with a tax professional to make sure you qualify for the 30% federal tax credit. It isn't a rebate from the government, but rather a dollar-for-dollar reduction in the amount of income tax you would otherwise owe. For Chase, she ended up not getting the full tax credit up front, like she says her solar company promised.
That's a big chunk of change to not get.
There are two options for going green. One is the Renewable Energy Growth Program, which is what Chase enrolled in.
You sell everything you produce directly to utility for a fixed value that unfortunately is only slightly higher than the utility rate, and so as time goes on, that rate keeps going up, and within a few years you're back to having a utility bill.
However, he says the net meter program is what he recommends for his client like Provost. His solar panels power his home first, and then he receives credit for any unused energy on his utility bill. Aubin also says renting panels is an option.
The customer just buys the electricity from the system for cheaper than the utility sells it to them at a controlled price long term.
Aubin says it's important for people to do their homework before they sign up for solar.
The solar industry in Rhode Island is not heavily regulated. That's why the Attorney General's office is investigating solar companies that may have taken advantage of consumers. With the Target 12 investigators, Sarah Granelli, 12 News.